Here we are, folks, the 1990. Yes, you heard it right, 1990. It's the F-150. It's got the big 5.0. And we got to put that up here. And I don't see any holes. She's just flat. So I'm assuming we have to drill some holes. I think step one, what we're going to do is open up the tape, get out the instructions. We also have a plug and play for prong flat. They wanted lights only on this thing. The lady said they did not want a brake controller. So, what do they got going on here? Well, looky. Somebody already tapped in, so we may not even need that. I wonder if this little guy works. We still might do it the right way though, because I think our little guy plugs into there, so we might take them taps off there. Ugh, yuck. We'll go back to step one. Put that there and there. Get out the knife. Probably needs a new blade. Down through there. There's our instructions and our hardware. And on this side we have our light kit. Hopkins, North America's #1 brand, self-proclaimed anyways. It says right there. Yeah, and this is no tap type, which I think it looked like that connector up there where we just plug it in. So we might have to get rid of those vampire connectors. We'll see what's going on up there. Looks like this truck's been oil sprayed, so that's good. Well, we got 1973 to 97 F-Series, old body style, Bronco, and 67 to 02 Dodge, full size, and 78 to 97 Bronco. Wow, pretty universal hitch, if I do say so myself. Let's see, I'll read these and then I'll figure out what we need to do. It looks pretty simple. I imagine we're going to drill some holes. It says it weighs 47 pounds. If you're a professional, you do it in 30 minutes. If you're a DIYer, it's going to take you 50. Drilling required, no trimming required. We're under the gun now, son. First try. We have a couple inches and 1/8. We need to get the ball here out of the way. Oh, she's only on torque setting 2. Because I think our tongue is, or the new hitch is going to come right here, and this might be in the way, or at least difficult to remove at least. And then we do have to drill some holes. Direction says sticking up on the frame, there's some factory rivets. I don't know if you guys can see them, but one there and one over here, and evidently there's a mark or a hole in this hitch that'll line up with that. And then we punch some holes. Are you over that rivet, buddy?
Yeah.
Okay, just hold it right there, okay? Hold it right there! Sounds like the police. Okay, you still got it there?
Yeah.
Okay. I can take the voice just a little bit. Okay, you're over that rivet?
Yeah.
Okay, that side will hold a little bit. Don't let go. It'll whack you in the head. Okay, does it want to stay or does it want to fall down?
Wants to stay.
Oh, look at that. Perfect. So the rivet's in the middle, front to back anyways. We have it centered that way. We can't center it left to right because it hits the bumper bracket there. But we just need her up on the frame rail, and same thing on this side. This rivet here sits more or less in the center, but equal front to back. Little gap on this bumper bracket. We could scooch it this way a whisker, but she's pretty much right in the middle there, folks. We're just gonna let that just touch. We don't need to jam it up there, just touch it. Your Astro, it's your TS29, it's your Hyper Steps. Some of the best drill bits on the planet. starting out with 5/16, we need to end at 1/2 inch. Put it up here in drill mode, get some holes poked in this thing. We're just gonna eyeball the center here. That looks about right in that one. This one's pretty forgiving here. That one looks pretty good. Then of course we have this one back here, which will move our vice grip out of the way. Need to walk that a little bit this way. Oops, didn't have that quite tightened in my chuck, did I? They've got flat spots on these bits on the shank that will line up with your chuck. This guy can figure out how to use a drill. There we go. We'll get these center punched right where we need them. So we gotta walk in this way. I think they all look pretty good. This one needs to go this way just a little bit more, a little bit further back. There, now we'll put her down in first gear and let her eat. You won't find a better drill bit, folks, I'm gonna tell you right now. Don't want them landing in your pocket. Do the same thing on the other side. Once you got the other side done, grab your 1/2 inch hyper step. She's a reduced shank, if you needed to know about that, and then just punch the 1/2 inch holes up through them. There's that one. Oh, also make sure there's no wiring harness or anything laid up in the frame. That would be embarrassing. Hyper step bits make short work of it. Spend more time picking the stuff out of your shirt. There's that. There's our hole. All done. Put your bits back. I'm serious, folks, when I tell you, these bits, for a regular standard high-speed steel bit, these things are amazing. I was going to get all cocky and just drill it the first time with a 1/2 inch, because you can do that. They're hyper step. You can just start out with a 1/2 inch. But I was afraid with the little pea shooters that are strapped to my shoulders, I might not have enough push power, and I'd be shivering too much by the time I went through. So instead of looking like a puss, I started out with the 5/16, but you can definitely start out with a 1/2 inch, no problem. Great bits. You want better ones? Get on the Mako truck, get the Hyper Step Cobalts, made by the same company. But if you're gonna buy them in the Astro box, you can only get the high-speed steel, I believe. And we'll take these, drop our carriage bolts in there. Got 3 for this side. We'll stick them right up in here. There's one, and then this one has to put a plate on the bottom of it, I believe. Yes, sir, according to the picture. I think it's because it's the big hole. And then you've got these flange nuts. Let me hold that up in here. Well, snug getting on there. And then we'll get this one here on the end, and then we'll very lightly snug these up as we remove our vice grips. Probably been further ahead to punch these holes out just a whisker bigger than 1/2 inch. Be a little easier. There's one bolt here that doesn't allow us to stick our carriage bolt down through. Nope, it doesn't. We're gonna have to move we're gonna have to take that bolt out. That's handy. Handy. Let me get a 3/4 socket. We'll tighten this one up, move the vice grip, stick our bolt back here. But yeah, we're gonna have to take one of the bumper bolts out to get this bolt in. Come on now, I want to be facing this way. Can't get it like that. Get kind of straightened up here. Okay. We'll get that straightened up in the end. But for right now, get that off, and it's not gonna conk us in the head. See if we can't get this one up in there. Spin that just so. This one was just a straight up flange nut. Okay, there's that. Probably should have grabbed that there. I don't know if that's a fixed welded nut. Here, we'll try this wrong side socket, but we'll just try it a little bit. No, we're gonna need appropriate size stuff here, folks. 18, 21 wrench. I don't know if we can. We're gonna try to get our wrench up on here. Box end of it. Maybe not. Handy. Let me get a different 21. Ooh, got it that time, folks. So yeah, you've got to take that bracket bolt out the way in order to get this bolt to come down through. And then the problem I'm having is this bracket up on the inside hits the part of the frame that's curved. I might have to trim this a little bit because we drilled our holes right dead in the middle. Actually, if I put it in that direction, it's not too bad. Let me, it'll probably pull right down flat. Let me just see here. Had I known, we would have drilled our holes inset just a little bit more. Oh yeah. Now we'll be fine. It'll be perfect. This bracket will back in there. And then go ahead and tighten those up to the manufacturer's recommended specifications. Or turn off your camera and use your 1/2 inch Huggy Duggy. Oh, we're stuck now. I don't know if we can use the open end up in there just enough to hold it till she gets tight. Probably not. It's kind of in a picture of a spot here. There we go. So there's that. There is a spec in the paper what to tighten those up at. You don't want them falling out. And then on this other side, we got to do the same thing. That bolt on the other side is in a bad spot too. All in all, it's a pretty easy hitch to install. Not as easy as the ones that already have the holes drilled though. Those are great. Yeah, we have to use the opener of the box in here, at least to get it off. Alright, there's that. And hindsight, knowing what we know now, what I would have done is these holes here, I would have drilled them in towards the hitch, probably a little bit further, just to allow a little more clearance here with the curved portion of the frame. Torque those down with your torque wrench. We'll stick this back together. Oh, gotta swap sockets here and then we'll torque wrench again. And that's it, folks. Kind of a silly video, but we're gonna post it anyway. Somebody might want to know. Someday. Remove your stand of safety. Take these little guys off, I suppose. Look at that. The Curt 10,000 pounder. Wow. Now a little more Hitch and we have truck. As long as things aren't real green and nasty here. Let's see if we can't get this unplugged. Ow, my fingernail, frig hole. We gotta get those vampire connectors off there. See how those ones go. Let me get a little screwdriver. We'll pry them apart, see what the wires look like. If nothing's green and crusty, we'll just tape them up. We'll get this off here out of the way. Open up our new unit. Pretty sure this is where it goes. Didn't read the directions, but it looks right. Let's just make sure. Yep, that's gonna be the right one. Okay. And this essentially does the same thing that whoever did this does, except it won't get all corroded and rotted. There's one. These things are probably okay, like down south or something, but here in the PRNY, the amount of salt we get, these are not a good idea. All the aftermarket remote start places around here use these things. Except the only difference when they use them is they'll put it about, well, if you could get it inside the connector, they would, but they're gonna make darn sure that they put it right tight to that connector, as tight as they can get it. So that way when it does turn green and pussy, well, now you got big problems. These ones look super clean. I'm gonna tape over them. We're gonna pretend we didn't see it. I'll get it's a piece of Scotch tape here. Super 33. Stuff is amazing. We'll get her on there nice and tight. Cut her clean. Go on to the next one. When we're all done, we'll tape up the whole harness. A couple wraps on there. There it is. Oh, come on. That little fire stuff is super sticky. There's that, and I'll do the last one. There, once you have all three of those covered up, try to find the end of your tape again. There it is. And if I could give you a word of advice, folks, Scotch Super 33. If you're gonna buy electrical tape, just buy it. It doesn't matter how much it costs per roll. The roll's gonna last you a really long time. But it is some of the best tape on the planet. Okay? Don't get that crap from Harbor Freight or any of that other cheap, crappy, plastic feeling electrical tape. Scotch 33 or Super 88, you'll thank me. There it is. So that's all good. And then what we'll do, Give her some of the film up inside the terminals to keep it from going terminal. Oops. Plug that one in. Come around here and we'll find out where this one goes. Like so. And then we're going to zip tie this wherever we can. Keep her out of the way. I've got to move you folks. Feels like there's a holder right up here anyways. And then we're gonna A, check to make sure it works, and then B, run it where we need to. Wire tied that little junction up in there, and then we're gonna run our wire down here. We're gonna give it a little bit of slack. Let's see, because he's gonna come over here. We're gonna wire tie this right to the hitch, whether you like it or not. There's that one. And I'll do another one over here. At least this way it won't be dragging down the road. We're even going to make our wire ties go in the same direction for our OCD viewers. So there's that. And when you cut a zip tie, try to cut it right on a 45. Leave that nice and long. If you can't get a good point that way, get a good point this way. Just make that sucker so it is razor sharp. I'm kidding. Don't do that. Use a pair of flush cuts. Knock them off flush, folks. Alright. There's that. So we have a little extra wire here. Usually the trailers have lots of extra wire. And then we've got the little rubber cap. Make sure you put that on the right direction so when it comes over, male, female, if we can say that in 2023. The his, her, he, she plug, if that's what its pronouns are. We don't use pronouns here, we use adjectives. I make Mrs. O call me super sexy Erica, that's my adjective. I'm kidding, she doesn't call me that. Okay, we'll stick that right there for right now. We'll try to stick that right there for right now. We need to go get the very lovely Mrs. O and get a test slate and make sure that works. Other than that, this baby's all done. And I think we are not professional because I think it took a little over the half an hour mark. So we are somewhere between pro and DIY. Wow. Marker lights and 4-ways are on, so that should be all of our terminals here. We don't need to check brake lights because if our turn signals work, then our brake lights work. So first pin in, brown should be marker lights. We've got marker lights. This one should be blinking. Yellow is your left turn. Green is your right turn. And if those work, then your brake lights work. Because this is not a converter box, okay? Your brake lights and your turn signals are on the same wire. So that's that, folks. We got her done. I just stuck a rubber band around it to kind of take up the slack there, folks. I'll stick it here and he can figure out what he wants to do with it. A lot of guys will just like loop them down through here and up through here and then stick them in the hitch, but you got to make sure you keep these suckers greased, fluid film, dielectric, anything you want to put on there to keep it from getting corroded. We'll leave it at that. Putting the Curt hitch on the back of your F-150, it seems like it fits a variety of years. Of course, the wiring is probably going to be slightly different if you're using a plug-and-play connector, or you can just do what the previous owner of this truck did with those, you know, connectors there, or splicing the harness, whatever you have to do. These trucks don't have any kind of module or anything like that. You just have to be cautious. Like that circuit that you're tapping into is designed to carry current for what's on the truck from the factory. So if you have a trailer that's really loaded up with bulbs, or it has a short and ends up blowing a fuse, it's also going to blow the fuse for this turn signal or this brake light or the running lights. Whereas like more modern vehicles have separate fusing for the trailer. So just bear in mind, just kind of use your noodle when you're doing that. This guy's only going to be pulling a small boat. So, and I did check with him to make sure he needed a 4-pin instead of the 5-pin, your classic boat with hydraulic brakes that has the reverse lockout on it. So I did check before we get that comment. It is a 4-pin boat trailer. So that's it. I want to check out your comment down in that comment section. Questions, comments, the Insta, the Facebook. You guys know where to find us. And just remember, viewers, if I can do it, you can do it. Thanks for watching.